Well, from Meghan's trials and tribulations to Harry's, as the Prince has lost his court battle, to throw out the Mail on Sunday's defence to the libel claim over his long-running security struggle. So the Duke of Sussex is suing the paper's publisher over an article last year about his legal challenge against the government's decision to strip him of armed protection officers. In February, 3 years ago, a Home Office committee downgraded his personal security after he announced his intention to move to the United States. A judge has now ruled the paper may successfully argue as an honest opinion that Harry's team undertook a masterclass of spinning to mislead the public about his offer to pay for security. Now, the Duke's lawyers have said the story was an attack on his honesty and integrity, claiming Harry tried to keep details of his legal battle to reinstate his police protection secret from the public. The thing about this is it just seems like Prince Harry doesn't really seem to know how things work. I mean, there is a freedom of the press in this country, and you are allowed to have an opinion, an honestly held opinion, no matter whether you don't like it or you disagree with it, or you even think it's wrong. You are still allowed to have an opinion. I'll sort of slightly come back to that point that I said just a moment ago about advisors and about whether they're giving him the right advice.
Don't you feel like he's just lost since he's left the royal family? He's just...
No.
I don't know, because the thing is, the royal family, they spun the lovable Harry brilliantly, right? He was the lovable ginger kid that even when he wore like racist Nazi costumes, the public still loved him. Like, he could do no wrong. And now the second that he's left the royal family and all he and his blushing bride had to do was open their mouths, they are so unlikable on every level.
No. Call me a positive about it, but remember their trip to South Africa when they were royals, working royals? I thought they did an absolutely fantastic job. I know that Land Rovers were landed over there for them, and etc. A bit of a subterranean controversy surrounding them. But nevertheless, Meghan danced with everyone, and Harry looked absolutely right on. Everyone looked great, and everyone looked like they were welcoming this new texture to the royal family, and then suddenly they blow themselves up and go away. And here he is fighting libel and fighting these things in the Daily Mail where mere mortals, where royals don't do this kind of thing. It wraps around like a fishtail libel.
But it's a great, it shows you the great loss, because, you know, they were seriously adding value.
They were.
So well.
And that comparison to now, so the cases, these allegations, the Scobby Book, it's just constant negativity about irrelevant issues. And it's doing nobody's reputation any favours whatsoever.
I think it was really... Sorry, I was just going to say that I thought it was really sad about all those photos where they all just looked so lovely in those photographs.
Reminisce. Look,
weddings end up like that, though, don't they?
I don't.
Well, I had a nice day.
I don't think he's lost. I think he's found his voice. And people don't like that he's found his voice. He's found something that he's passionate about, something that he wants to fight for.
They don't like his voice.
You may not like that he's taking on the media. You may not like what he says about the royal family, but he now has his own voice. He's no longer the lovable young rogue that he was. He's a man.
He has his voice, or is it someone else telling him to?
The thing is, the royal family managed to turn him into something he's not. I don't have a problem that he's found his voice. You speak your truth, babe, or whatever the fashionable thing to say is. That's fine. But I do find it curious that once his actual personality comes out, he's a deeply unlikable character. And even you saying that, you don't like the fact that he finds his voice, you don't even find him palatable. So this rich white prince constantly complaining about libel this or like Montecito that.
And he's lost this case.
Exactly. But the thing is, if you had a kid with Meghan Markle and your parents were, I wonder what the kid would look like, for you to then go and say, that's racist, that's not even like your personality. Like, yes, he's found his voice, but I find it curious that the transition from him being in the royal family to him finding his voice has just meant that he's dropped like a hot potato in terms of public opinion.
He hasn't lost his voice. He was already fighting for the issues that he cared about and doing it very well within the royal family. The environment, armed forces, the Invictus Games, veterans, mental health. He was doing an amazing job then. And I actually think he's lost his voice because we're being distracted by so many other issues which are just toxic.
He's really going to regret this when he's 55, isn't he? I mean, you know, your perspective changes, your heartbeat changes, your lifeblood changes, and you have a bit of perspective. I know, and you know, maybe hopefully he'll have a very long life ahead of him. Maybe he'll be married to Meghan, maybe he won't. But sure as eggs is eggs, he'll think differently about a whole host of things, and all of this will be on archive from 15 to 20 years ago.
Also, it's so boring going to court, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's not, but listen, we do have pictures now, actually, of the royals today. Kate and the kids at a carol service. She looks like a waxwork. It doesn't even look like Kate.
Yeah, she looks so...
There she is. Kate, Wills, and George...
And the other
Charlotte.
one.
Charlotte. And the other ones.
And the other one.
Oh, you know what.